Okay, Coach. So first question I want to ask is just what is your practice schedule going to look like starting next week?
Next week, Monday will be helmets. First 2 days helmets, and then Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday we'll go shell, and then Friday, we'll do a little bit of inter squad stuff. I'm just kind of scrimmage against each other, put some pads on, just hit stuff like that. So nothing too reinventing.
Do you guys have any scrimmages before the season starts, or just the inter squad scrimmage?
No, we do. The following week we'll go up to Hobbs and we'll scrimmage Hobbs. That's kind of been a traditional scrimmage around here for a long time, so it's worked out pretty good for us. I mean, so yeah,
Got it.
stick with that.
And do you guys like switch up every year? Like you guys travel there, then the next year they come here, or how does that work?
No, we go up there every year, and Hobbs typically has a couple other teams go up there too. So we just travel up there. They take care of everything. They feed us and whatnot. So we
Nice,
take our varsity and our varsity and our JV group up there. So it works out good for us.
nice. And then can you talk a little bit about the schedule this year? Who some of the tougher teams you're going to be playing are, and just what that all looks like?
Yeah. So this year on the schedule we got Los Lunas and we added Los Lunas and we had Alamo and Chaparral. Alamo, is a team. I think that sometimes people just don't give them enough credit, but man, they do a great job and just kind of go around doing a little bit of the 7-on-7s. I'm taking a look at some of Alamo's kids and I'm going, man, they got the kids to fit what Coach Cisco's doing. So I think they're going to be a team that surprises a lot of people, man, because I think they're going to be really really good this year. And same thing with Los Lunas too. I mean, they got those guys look pretty big, 7-on-7, all that stuff. And so I think they got pretty good ball coaches over there. And so they look like they're pretty excited. They're believing in what their coach is doing. So Coach Johnson. I think they'll be contenders right away. And then we don't play them this on the schedule this year, but you got PV dropping down and you got Cibola coming down. So I think 5A gets competitive really really fast. So there's gonna be some good competition this year, and then obviously you got Artesia and Roswell, two great programs, and so man, we're I feel pretty good about what we're doing too. So I'm really excited for this year. The competition is gonna be great. I feel like it's all across the board, especially in the northern region too. So yeah, I'm really excited for this year.
Definitely. Then can you talk about some of your key players this upcoming year and what grade level they are, what positions they play?
Yeah, so I'll start with our quarterback, Nate Vasquez. We split him a little bit last year, and kind of towards the end of the year, he ended up starting there starting for us at quarterback, and so he'll be our starting quarterback going into the year, and we'll get Isaiah Montoya, who split the other quarterbacks reps with him. He'll be our starting running back this year. Him and Ryan Romero, and so those are three guys right there, man, that are going to be they're going to carry a lot for us offensively. You have Seth Wodas, who will be coming back. He suffered an injury last year, didn't even get to finish the season, and so I'm really excited for him. He's been having a great summer and stuff like that too. So hard worker, but those are guys, right away that'll help us offensively. And then on the defensive part of it, we replace pretty much the box. Our D line was senior heavy, and so we got some guys that are stepping up. That are gonna fill those roles. So Cooper Alpers, Alex Benavides. We got a couple guys that moved from out of town coming in. Colton and Tanner. We just we feel pretty good. We got some pretty good depth there, and we got to replace Taylon Payne, who was our Mike Backer from last year, with some big shoes to fill. And so we have Elijah, who's filling in that spot, and he's doing a great job for us. Just smart kid, love everything. He's had a great spring and a great summer, and so our two outside backers with Deegan and Angel give us some pretty good experience there. Great off season. Those guys put on some weight, some good weight, and pretty excited for those guys. And then the back end with the secondary, pretty excited for those guys too. Those guys have been playing together. So Isaiah Hunter, Jordan, and Jesus, I'll give us some pretty good experience back there too. So yeah.
Nice, nice. And who are some key losses from last year that you guys don't have anymore? That who graduated?
Well, we lost 19 seniors last year, and both of our running backs last year, Zach Ariano and Brady Gibbs, both leaving obviously, but those guys did a really good job for us last year, and so replacing those guys, won't be too easy. But again, Taylon Payne, Eric Gutierrez, who's on the D line for us. I mean, that guy was really good for us. So, but we were pretty young last year too. You know, when I first got here, I think at one point we started 8 sophomores, and so those 8 sophomores, now being seniors, give us some pretty good experience. So we lost some good dudes, but I'm pretty excited about this year too. Losing Josiah Castillo too. He's a big one for us as well. He'll be playing ball at New Mexico State this year, so really excited for him. But yeah.
Definitely. Then, what are some of the expectations or goals that you have for your team this upcoming season?
I expect us to compete. Compete with the best of the best, man. And I think Artesia and Roswell have been the standard, in our classification for so long. But I feel really good where we're at, man. And our boys have had a really good offseason and a really good summer. These guys are really bought in, and I think that's something they expect of themselves too. To play. They expect us to play for state championship. So. But they've been showing up every day, man. These guys have been working, so I'm really excited for these guys.
Definitely. Then last question I have for you, Coach, is just how important are the fans to the team's success?
Really important, because anytime you can have buy-in, we're here, we're working, we're doing all this stuff, and then those guys go home or they're wherever they're at a restaurant or the hallways and stuff like that, and you get that support, as well. I mean, that's really big, and I think just right down the road from us, Artesia and both Roswell got a pretty good fan base, and so those every time we play those games, I mean they're a lot of fun, especially that Roswell one, just being hometown stuff, and you see fans come out and they want to win, so that it's important, man. So I think we do a really good job with our support, especially over the last year, fans coming out supporting us, and just little things like that, man. It's been good for us. So yeah, definitely important.
For sure. And then I just have another one too. Just how excited are you for the season to start up here really soon?
Excited. We our coaching staff. That's something other as well that I think a lot of times when people talk about success of a program that they kind of leave out some is your staff, and our staff pretty much is the same. We have the addition of one guy, and but. Man, these guys love coming to work, man, and there's a true brotherhood amongst our staff, and so, when that's good, that trickles over, to the players and stuff like that, and so everybody's excited to work, man. So they're excited for next Monday, the 3rd, and we've been meeting a whole bunch, and we got our group text, man. So a lot of excitement for us, a lot of excitement for our program to get started.